Welcome to The Coffee Grind by the Denton Chamber of Commerce, powered in part by Classic of Denton.
Good morning, Denton. You're watching the Denton Chamber's Coffee Grind. It's like I've not done this before. Why am I stumbling over my words?
Travis. Wake up.
You're watching the Chamber Coffee Grind. My name is Travis Vaselka. I'm the Denton Chamber of Commerce's Director of Membership and Marketing. And as always, you have my trusty co-host.
Yes, my name is Randy Skinner, and I serve as your chair for the membership. And what is happening?
It's spreading.
Stop it. Stop looking at me.
Okay.
I serve as your chair for the Membership and Marketing Committee for the Chamber. And as a Chamber member, I represent Denton County Friends of the Family. We did it. We got through the intro.
So we're recording live from DentonRadio.com studio inside the Discover Denton Welcome Center. And we're here to keep you up to date with what's going on in the Denton business community, especially with the Chamber of Commerce. We highlight featured initiatives and events. But today we're going to start talking with our special guest, Rihanna Wallace, of Blissfully Organized. And the topic for today is like spring cleaning. We're talking about getting yourself organized, workspaces,
creating
paper clutter.
Efficiency through organization.
So
I'm real excited.
It's
like
nice.
That's like a little. I'll tell you, when I was little, my favorite thing to do, my grams would take me to the container store, and I would get to buy a container. And I don't even know what I put in them, but I am all about being organized. Although my husband will be like, "That's a lie. Our house does not look like that." So I need your tips.
So Rihanna, welcome. Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you for having me.
Yes.
So tell us about your business.
Yes.
How did you get started in this?
Okay. Well, I've been in business, or I've been organizing for 7 years. I am the chief executive organizer.
I love this.
I like to say it.
I love it.
I have one lead professional organizer and some contractors, but basically we specialize in residential organizing as well as small business, as well as relocation services. So
Wow.
we also
Oh, wow.
pack and
That's
that kind of
perfect.
stuff, yeah.
That's really
Yep,
cool.
yep.
So, like, the relocation services would be like when someone's moving, you kind of come in and do a full swoop.
So basically, if someone is either moving out or moving in, there's a couple of phases. Moving out, we'll go in and help them purge and pack, or at least prep. And then that way, when the movers come in, if they're not hiring us, they can pack it. Or if they've moved into a new location and their space is different, we kind of help them, or we help them unpack and organize and create a system in their new space.
I feel like this would be a fantastic TV show.
Is there any organizing TV shows?
There was, I can't remember the name. It was the Amandas.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the
Interesting.
Amandas. It
That
was super
would
cute, but
be-
they did organize in stilettos, which is not realistic.
wow.
That's not practical.
Yeah, it was cute, but it was totally not
That's
realistic.
probably why it
Yeah.
failed.
Well, I mean, it was a cute concept, and I was excited, but other than hoarders,
Right.
it
The
was-
opposite.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's too much. That gives me so much anxiety
Yeah. Me
that I
too.
can't watch it. Like, no.
No, the
Right.
looming towers of
The
things
looming
about to fall
towers.
over.
Oh,
Right.
So, it's so much.
So you mentioned that you do this for small businesses as well as residential stuff. So what's the majority of your business? Is it residential?
I would say, residential, organizing homes, and like I said, relocation. Small part of it is small business, but every now and again, that we'll have clients call us and they need their break rooms organized, or
sure.
we've even
yeah.
organized in it was a warehouse facility with something like all these paints and stuff. I didn't even know what it was, but when it comes to organizing it, you don't necessarily need to know the
You know the
product they're
specifics.
selling. You're
Yeah.
just gonna group it together and make it functional. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So what's some of your favorite projects to work on? Like, is there something that when you walk in, you're like,
Oh, yes,
your
yes,
organizing
yes,
heart
yes.
explodes.
So my favorite space to organize, I actually have two, is the pantry as well as a master closet. But what makes it even better is when my clients invest in like beautiful products that all match, and just aesthetically, it's just gorgeous and looks like something out of the Martha Stewart or Real Simple magazine. But I work with my clients with whatever budget they have, and if they're on a tight budget, we'll use what they have, and I'll still try to beautify it. But it's just I just love, it's like, oh, it's gorgeous, and
Perfect magazine.
I hope it stays like this, and
photo.
even if it doesn't at this moment, it does. So
I feel like you need to do like you pop in after 60 days with your camera and you're like,
We're
did
checking
it
in.
happen? We're checking in. It's
well,
like
sometimes they are
intense.
proud of their space. They're proud of keeping it up and making it pretty because, usually when we get them organized, they're like so excited about what it looks
Yes.
like. And we label because we're like, hey, you know what? And it's not a one size fits all. I say, hey, well, what is your routine? And, let's customize it according to how your mind functions and your day goes. But we will label just so they remember where to put
'Cause it's new.
put things back.
Right.
Yeah. And they're creating a new habit, a new system. So.
Yeah.
So what would you say? What's a good tip for someone who's wanting to organize, but maybe they're not quite ready to bring in a professional?
Right.
They're not ready to commit.
Right.
What are
I don't need that much help.
I don't need that much help, but then we all do, y'all. Like, we should just accept it.
Yeah.
But what are some tips that you would
Well,
give?
I usually tell people, number one, we do offer a DIY. So basically, I do have people that it's usually husband-wife combo. It's always so fun. But they'll contact us and be like, my wife's not organized. I'm just joking. But they'll be like,
Wait.
it's not organized. But basically, they're like, we don't want to spend the money for you to do it. We want you to come in and teach us and give us some ideas, on spacing and
like
things
a
like that.
consultant.
Yeah,
type
so I spend an hour with them. We walk around all the areas of concern, and then in return, I provide them with a plan of action.
Awesome.
And I also give them a list of, hey, these are the products that I feel like are great for this space. Take measurements.
Recommendations.
Da-da-da. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can visually see and all that, and then I do follow up with them, and I'm like, hey, 2 weeks later, I just want to follow up and see if y'all have implemented anything, and check out some pictures, and usually they have, or they're like, no, I'm still working on it. But that being
They're
said,
like, leave me alone.
Right.
They start avoiding your calls.
well, and that being said, you're saying tips. It's like, a lot of people, they hire us because they just get overwhelmed with the
Right.
thought of getting organized,
Yeah.
just where do I start? And they just get anxious. And I always say, hey, break it down into, like here's your kitchen, but break it down into smaller projects, and maybe spend an hour or two, maybe only focus on 2 or 3 drawers at a time, just so you don't get overwhelmed. Because a lot of people will go in there and just pull everything out at once.
Yes.
And it's so overwhelming. It's like, no, you have to dissect it. And then,
Yep.
as you're going, make decisions. Is this going to be something that I need to put back up where it belongs? Or is
Yes.
this something that I just need to throw away? It's
Get rid
truly
of.
trash, or donate? Or is it going to stay here? And if it is, how are we going to properly store it?
I think we all can. Well, if you can relate to that, like I feel like I've done that so many times. Like go into my kitchen, I'm like, I'm gonna organize it, or my bathroom, and then it all's on the floor in the middle, and then I look around and I leave it and go
Yep.
do something else, and I'm like, okay, I'll come back to it. But
So you don't lose sleep at night knowing it's all out?
oh, I will do it that night because I would lose
Right,
sleep,
right, right.
but it's like this. I do it wrong, and
Right.
so I know. I've always been told like take one room at a time, and then that's a really good tip. Like just piece it out. Like don't pull it all out.
Yeah,
at
that's where it gets
once.
overwhelming.
Take one junk drawer at a time.
One
Yeah.
junk
And if you
drawer.
can't handle that, pull out one
cabinet.
pile of things
Right,
yes,
from the junk
one
drawer.
pile.
Right.
Yes.
My favorite room is the pantry. I think I go through
Yes.
there about every 6 months, and I'll head dive right into it, pull everything out, and then try to label everything and put it back. And I'm like, because you end up collecting new things, you have to get rid of old things.
Yes.
It's a constant
And
cycle
something's
inside
always
of my
hiding.
pantry.
You're
at
like,
least.
I've
I
been
forgot
looking
I
for
had
that.
this.
Yes, it's like a
Indeed.
shopping experience in your
Oh,
own
right.
home.
It is, and I will tell you that I try to tell my clients or train them or create new habits with them as far as packaging drives me crazy, especially when you go to Sam's or Costco and you buy all these bulk items.
Yes.
And so then they're like, oh, I probably have 10 of these, but then they open it up and there's one in the big, huge box. And it's like,
you
I
forgot
tell
you've
them,
gone
I'm
through
like,
them.
as soon as you get it, just unload it so you can visually see what your inventory is or,
Yes.
whatever, and then get rid of the box because, just packaging drives me crazy. So, and also the dollar store has, I don't know if I can shout out dollar store. real quick,
Sure.
But they have
Specifically
great,
Dollar Tree because they are the best
Dollar
one,
Tree.
I
Yeah,
think,
exactly.
personally.
And the one in Howland Village, but they have great products to actually transfer from the box to that and keep it from getting stale, like crackers or
Oh,
cereal.
sure.
Yes.
And just something as simple as like washi tape, put out there,
Yes.
hey, this is granola cereal, and then make sure you put the expiration date because that's something that people do forget to do.
That's
Oh,
a good
that's true.
idea.
Yep.
Like,
That is something
it's a
that
year
people forget
old.
to do.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
How old is this?
That's
It's
a really
fine.
good tip. So for your pantry, kind of a good quick tip is obviously clean it out, y'all.
Right.
And then go to the dollar store, get some of the clear containers or different. That can be fun too,
Right.
because you can kind of find something that matches your
And
personality.
if you're not, on a strict budget, totally, absolutely go to the Container Store. I mean, they're great.
Yeah. Then you can make your
it
pantry
adds
look
up,
beautiful.
though.
Yes, make it gorgeous.
Yes. They have the best stuff.
So, this is a business-minded kind of
Yes.
show.
Right,
So,
right.
what kind of tips might you have for folks who work at a desk or are in an office?
Okay. Well, a lot of people, when they think of spring cleaning or spring organizing, they think of just their home. But, people do have home offices and actual
True.
offices. And a lot of times what I find is, I walk in and you can't see their desktop because it's full of paper clutter.
Yep.
And we'll sit there and go through it, or they have bins and bins and bins of just paper they've grabbed and thrown in there, and it's, mail from
Stop talking
5
about
years
me.
ago that's unopened, and I find checks,
no.
But
Whoa.
the thing is that I tell people, once we've gone through everything and they have a fresh new start,
Yes.
because basically we can do in 6 hours what would take someone that's not experienced, they're always like, oh my God, this would take me 2 weeks. you know?
Right.
Sure.
But it's just, we've seen every piece of paper, we just go through it. Well, basically go through your paperwork, just like I said, dissect it, grab a couple stacks, sit in front of the TV or take it home, or,
Yep.
go to the break room. And, anything with your personal information, create a shred stack or get a box and say, hey, this
Sure.
is shred.
Yes.
Anything that does not have your personal information on it, I am an advocate for recycling. So I say, hey, recycle that. Or if it's anything else that's empty or whatever and it can be recycled, definitely recycle it. And then...
Sorry to
We
interrupt,
have
but Angelica said, shout out to the most organized woman on earth and inspiring woman of Wink. Women in Commerce is Wink.
Yes.
P.S. I totally organized my entire closet at 11 p.m. on Sunday.
Oh,
I found
wow.
so many things.
nice.
Angie, tell us what your greatest find was on those things. Like, was there a huge win? Like, were you like, oh my God, I found $20?
Or you found a pair of shoes that were still in a box that you forgot you bought.
I forgot about these. Okay, what Jason
And then
say?
Jace, yes, cleaning out your office can give you fresh perspective. That is
Yes,
so
Oh, we
true.
have a
true.
caller calling in. Just kidding.
Poor Jake.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
so basically just grab the stacks, like I said, shred, recycle, and then documents, because you wouldn't believe how many people do not have a filing system set up, even at their job.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the thing is, I try to encourage my clients to be paperless, but if they're
There's
not
certain
comfortable,
things, yeah.
then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to push it on you, but just basically invest in a great scanner / printer.
Sure.
But anything that you do need to keep, I say, hey, just scan it in, create a folder, and then you can shred it if you're too anxious. I say shred it, but sign up for paperless billing. As far as businesses go, just like with my own personal business, I create files and then or folders and then subfolders, so it's easily searchable. And same
Well
thing with the
organized.
digital, your desktop or even your files. It's like it's the same thing as tangible paper. You have to go in and assess it and say, what can I get rid of, or what can I I no longer use this, or do I need to update it? Or is there just random stuff on my desktop that, what am I doing on this? Because you wouldn't believe, I've seen crazy desktops. And also with your email, it's like, hey, you need to handle up on your email. What are you've read it, what are you going to do with it? You're either going to delete it, or is it an action item you need to follow up? So go ahead and do that. I like Evernote. Are y'all familiar with that?
sure.
I love
I like
that.
Evernote, but here recently, I love Apple products, but they have a great note system that is now just very similar to Evernote, but you can add check boxes,
Oh,
sure,
to-do
yes.
lists, all that. You can actually print into it. You can even, create a PDF from your Notes app. There's great apps out there like TurboScan. If you don't have the money to invest in a great scanner, that you can actually just take a picture, scan it, and create files.
That's what I need to get. No.
No money,
no
but
money,
shoes.
but shoes.
Okay.
That's
Shoes.
awesome.
Well, I
that is
expect,
like
so
shopping.
you're gonna have to
All
wear these
right.
shoes when I see you this Friday if you're gonna be there.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, to wear your closet organizing shoes.
Yes. But anyway, so that's really just becoming paperless, and that way once you've gone through everything, you have a fresh new start. But like I said, if it's something you do have to file, it depends on how many files you need to create. If you need one of those huge, because it's just a lot of times, for example, a lady I was working with yesterday, she's got inspirational stuff, and she's like, I need to file it, and I'm like, no, if you put it in a filing cabinet, in here, to me, when you're filing it away, it's just something you need to reference every now and then,
Right.
But if it's something you're like, oh, I want to look at it, maybe once a week or once a month, or I don't want to forget about it, I suggest, hey, then get a desktop filer, just one that's
Yes,
elevated,
just
get
right
some
here.
cute file folders that look presentable. That way you can just drop it.
So
That's a good
what I
idea.
heard you say is kind of a good process is if I need to look at it every week, have it out. But if I don't, get rid of
File
it.
it away,
Scan
scan it, file it
scan
away.
it.
Important documents that are hard to recreate. Of course, don't scan your passport or your marriage license. But those items, I would say, I wouldn't file them. I would actually get a safe.
Yes.
Yes, that's what
and
we do.
even with your business, your deeds or your business structure and all that, I would still put that in a safe. But as having employees and things like that, you do have to keep files for a certain amount of years. But
Right.
and even with your taxes, I go and work with people that have taxes from 2000, and I'm
It's
just
time.
like,
Well, that's too old.
because basically, this isn't anything I'm just pulling out of my head, but the IRS, they cannot legally audit you after 7 years. So I
Right.
always say, hey, every year you file your taxes, go ahead and pull out that other year, shred it, and then, but people are just so
Just on a
anxious
7-year
about shredding
cycle.
it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
It's real
But, just get in a
nerve-wracking.
routine of that.
That's
These
really
are great
good
ideas.
advice.
Yes.
I love it. What else? Tell us more. I feel like I have so many. I need to get. What was the Turbo Scan? That was one you
Yes,
said you take it
TurboScan.
with your
It's
phone.
a free app, and basically,
Need a
it will
pen.
also feed if you're an iPhone user. It will also you could save it into. It creates a file into your files on your
Oh,
iPhone.
that special little
Which
folder.
also
Yeah.
which also feeds into your iPad or your
love
computer.
that.
So
I just recently, so for my personal laptop, I have so much stuff on there that I really don't need, but I need to reference it.
Right.
And so I upped my cloud storage, and I'm just dumping it all
Yes.
in there because
Pictures
I feel
as
like
well.
I need it.
yes,
But I was like, it's like my mom always says, if you haven't worn something in a year,
Yep.
it's time for it to go. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, if I haven't looked at those files in a
Right.
year, it's time for it to go.
Right,
So
right.
it's so inexpensive to up your storage,
Yep.
and you just dump it in there. And
Exactly.
so I felt good. That was my win last week.
well, and
So-
that's great also with your pictures because people get picture overload, and it's
Yes.
like create, because I bought extra storage as well,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like create these folders in the cloud
Yeah.
and then just transfers. That way, you're not using all your data or your
Yes.
memory. And then not only that, you can share it. You can share it, you
easy.
can reference it.
True.
Also, as far as digital clutter, apps can get cluttered on your phone.
Oh Lord, Kim.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know people
I'll
that
go
have
through
5
those.
pages, and I'm just like, do you really use all these apps? And they're like, no, I really don't. So, I suggest, hey, go through each folder. If hopefully
Mm-hmm.
you have them categorized by folders and topics. If not, I do suggest that as well.
I do. I'm not sure they have topics though. Like I feel like I just.
It'll
these
help
look-
you name
these
the
look good
folder,
together.
too.
Well, they help you name it, but it's how are you gonna remember to look for
Right.
it? Like what
Right.
topic? So it's searchable because everything is searchable. But I always say, hey, go through it and do an inventory. And if it's something you downloaded, you thought you were gonna use it, but you haven't used it, in months or years, get rid of it because then you're just
Right.
wasting
Sure.
space.
That's true.
Yeah, that's good.
Gosh, all these ideas
Y'all
are so
just
great. It's giving me
do
ideas.
Something,
Right,
right?
right.
Like get started. And where would someone? When we were first talking, you were talking about how you do an hour consultation.
Yes.
And I'm assuming you could do that for a business
Yeah.
or for a personal. Where would someone go to learn more about this consultation?
They can go to.
I'm asking for a friend.
Oh, they can actually go to our website www.blissfullyorganizedllc.com.
Blissfully
And basically, it shows, hey, these are your 3 options as far as getting organized, and it applies to residential and small business. But option 1, hey, hands on. You don't want to deal with it. You want to hire us. We come in. We purge. We create a system. And then we tell you, hey, these products would maximize the space. Or usually, like I said, we use the products they already own. And then if you, like I said, if you're on a budget, you can do the DIY where if you're local, I can actually come in, walk around for an hour, take notes, and then in return, provide you with an action plan and a product recommendation. I also do virtual organizing. I have organized someone in Mexico.
That's
How
Did you just do
neat.
I
FaceTime?
did try to sway them to have me fly out there. I was like, no.
Why not? Yeah.
And they're like, no, we'll do virtual. So basically, same concept, but we Skype or we FaceTime. And even with those, sometimes they'll say, well, can we do 30 minutes, this day so we can talk, and then I can, start
Go do
implementing
something,
and then
yeah.
follow up 30 more minutes. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So it's however you want to break it out.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's fun.
That's really cool.
That's really cool, and that's really encouraging to know you don't have to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's definitely overwhelming. I feel like, just as a PSA, there would be some crying involved at my house as you're like going through. It's like, I feel like I might need that one day. Like, I don't know why
Someday.
we're so attached
Well, that's
to
when you
materials.
say, put it over here to reevaluate.
Yes.
And by the time I'm done with you 6 hours later, you're like, oh my God,
Get
I'm just
rid
ready
of
for
it.
you to leave
That's-
and go ahead and take it. And
that
I'm
is a
like,
good
perfect.
tactic.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't want to deal
so-
with it anymore.
So Jason says that for the tip you had about your apps is that you can look on your settings
Yes.
in the app and see what you actually
And when's
use.
the last time you used it? That is
Yeah.
correct. Yep.
So it's under settings, and then where, Jason? Tell us what's next.
I think it's settings and then just apps.
And then app- well,
Yeah.
that one
Well,
might-
then you
that
go
makes
through
sense.
the individual ones. Yeah.
We got
There might be
another
some
comment. Man,
usage.
people
Oh,
are really
Nolan.
loving
Hey,
the-
Nolan.
Might take you a few hours, to walk through my mess.
Wow. Well, Nolan, I know where you live, sweetie, so I can help you out.
She'll be over there soon. Well, is there anything else that you feel like someone should know about organizing their home office, their office, or even their home as a whole?
Just I always say, hey, spend a couple of minutes before you leave each day to
good
get your
tip.
office in order or your desktop. File stuff away, shred it, recycle it, do whatever. But come in so that you're relaxed. Versus
Yes.
you come in and there's paper everywhere that you left it
Yes.
the day before. But basically you just want to tidy it up. Like I said, just get rid of anything that's not needed on top, so therefore it's cleared off, and everything's been handled. But your last hour of work, just do that.
Yes.
So that way you walk into a fresh new slate, and it's a little bit more relaxing environment.
Gosh, that sounds perfect.
It's really good.
gonna
Let's
aim
start
for
now.
this.
Nolan said something else.
And I live in Arkansas, so we'll need to Skype.
That's funny.
Pig Suey. I went to high school in Arkansas. Shout out to Nolan.
Nice. Well, thank you, Rana. We really appreciate all the tips that you've provided for
Yes.
us.
Thank you for having me.
So you can find Blissfully Organized.
She's purging today. Good
Oh,
job,
yay.
Lisa. Lisa
Oh,
Reinhardt.
and make sure when you purge, there's a lot of great places here in the Denton area.
Yes.
So, Lisa, I know you're a huge crafter. So I know Lisa personally. She's my neighbor. across the
Nice.
street. But basically, craft items. I always love to donate at
Scrap?
Scrap.
Yes.
Nice.
Scrap. So anything to do with crafting or fabrics or anything, I always
Yes.
take it to.
They can totally use it there too.
Yes, I take it there. They will give you a tax receipt.
Nice.
And then also, as far as women career clothing, baby items, food, even, I have a lot of people that are moving there, and it's not expired.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, I don't want any of this food. Denton County Friends of Family.
Yep.
I'm a huge supporter of them.
Yes,
but
you are. Thank
people
you.
don't know, I even have a lot of ladies that are no longer giving their babies formula, and they have brand new formula. They're like, oh, just trash it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to donate it.
Yeah.
So I know that women come there with absolutely nothing. So they start from scratch. So every little bit helps.
Yes, it does. And thank you for,
really
I mean,
great.
you've been a long time supporter and donator for
Yes.
items. So
Yep.
we appreciate you. And actually on that note, I will give a shout out. So our new thrift store for Friends of the Family, Upscale Resale, it's right off Dallas Drive, 920 Dallas Drive, across from Frenchie's Vans, is opening. Well, it's open, but our grand opening is Thursday. So before you head over to the membership mixer, stop by. We're going to do food from SPF Roofing. They're grilling it up. We'll have a bounce house. Maybe there's a bounce house. And
For
then
adults or kids?
For right, adult hour will be at the beginning, and then we're gonna do a live. Oh gosh, now their name escapes me. What's the craft place that's right, or the little antique place that's right here on the other side of the square next to Art 6?
Is it by
Vintage Blue?
940?
Yeah, Vintage
Yeah,
Blue.
Vintage
Blue.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Golly, they have the best logo. Vintage Blue is
Yes.
going to do a live upcycling, like painting
fun.
of a dresser. So it'll be real fun. So stop by next Thursday and bring all of your purged items.
Yes.
After you drop your crafts off at Scrap, just bring everything else to us.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. It should be good.
Very
Okay, what
cool.
else?
All right, so just to follow up, you can find Blissfully Organized by Googling, I'm sure. You can find them on Facebook.
Yep. Facebook,
Blissfully,
Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever Pinterest, whatever
You're on
platform.
all of them.
Yeah,
That's
whatever
great.
Got
platform
it
you
covered.
prefer, we are there.
wonderful.
Awesome. We'll
So
go
everybody
and
reach
hit
out
her
to
up.
Rihanna. All right, so there's always something going on with the chamber. We've got ribbon cuttings coming up. So on March 21st, that'll be, that's today, this afternoon at 4 o'clock, Love's Travel Stop is opening a new location. We had a bit of a confusion about the mapping of how to get there because it's one of those new addresses that the maps haven't updated on. So this is actually going to be north of Denton, so the 288 connection up north of here. You'll just go past that to exit 471. So that'll be at 4
I
o'clock.
feel like you won't miss it.
Yeah, big sign
It's
says
a big
Love's.
Yeah,
sign.
yeah.
If you miss it,
Just
you
head
don't-
north.
You just need to turn around
And
and,
look
go
for the
home.
love sign.
And look for the love sign.
It's like a giant yellow sign.
Yes, with big old hearts on it.
Yeah.
So then we have Code 3 ER and Urgent Care having a ribbon cutting on April 5th. That's at
Awesome.
noon. That'll be on 3111 Teasley Lane.
And that's at noon. So that's a different, most of the time they're at 4. So like note, come by at lunch.
Yeah, this will be over
Yeah.
lunch. So it should be pretty easy for folks to get to.
That's right.
We've got Brain Balance. Theirs is the next day, also at noon. That's April 6th. Their location is out here on West University Drive, 2735 West University Drive. That'll be at like the Razor Ranch kind of area.
Okay.
And then we have Golke Pools. I believe they're celebrating their 60th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
And they've got a nice new constructed service center that they're doing a ribbon cutting for. Also around noon. This will be at 12:30 on Thursday, April 12th. The address, we'll have to get the address on that
Well,
one.
I'm sure, if it's the main location, it's
I don't think it is.
oh, it's a different,
It's a new
like the new
service center.
Wow. Okay,
center.
then I'm not going to tell you. where
Indeed,
the-
it's not the one on Dallas
not
Drive.
the- you know that for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out and we'll let you guys know because that one's not until April, right?
April 12th.
Okay, we'll let you guys know next week.
Yeah. And then we got some chamber events to talk about. So tomorrow
these
is
are
our
good ones.
109th annual banquet and awards dinner.
And we will have our oldest chamber member there. No, I'm just kidding.
You're right. Remy King's probably going to be there.
109 years old.
So this will be at the Gateway Center. The registration is closed, so we're
You
not
can't come.
we're not selling tickets anymore. But we'll have a silent auction. We'll have a live auction. We've got a spirit, what we're calling the Spirit Wagon.
Yes.
There's about $1,000 worth of liquors, wines,
Oh, wow.
different spirits that were donated by the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, and they're going into a wagon. And for like a $20 ring. It's like a flashing thing. We'll play a game of heads or tails and see by the end of it who's left who will win that $1,000 liquor wagon. It's like
you
restocking
could
your
roll
liquor
away
pantry.
with an entire
I mean, you
liquor
could.
cabinet restock.
And then a week after that, on March 29th, starting at 5 o'clock, we have our membership mixer. It'll be at Milpa, and it's co-sponsored by Fraser Commercial and Mar Properties. Milpa is at 820 South Interstate 35, so it's off of like the corner of Teasley and 35.
Awesome. That'll be a fun one. I'm excited.
Yes. And then we've got Denton Means Business 5K and Fun Run coming up on April 7th. We have registration still open, so
When does it close?
It'll close, I think, April 4th.
Okay,
Around
so you got a couple
midday or
weeks.
so. Yes. So we have a packet pickup for everybody on, I want to say it's April 4th. Yes. That'll be at Denton County Brewing Company. And registration, like I said, is still open. You can get a group rate. So if you have 5 people, you can save some money as a group rate.
Cool.
And then if you're a member of any of the local running clubs, you should ask some of their leadership because we sent out some codes to them to kind of help the local runners
Super
to participate.
secret.
But if you are a member of one of those clubs, reach out to the leaders of those and see if you can get access to that running coupon code.
A coupon.
A coupon. So that'll be fun, and that starts at around
8:30,
8:30, 8 o'clock. The
And
run
you're
starts
doing
at 9.
it's a walk and then also a run, right?
There's a you can walk it if you want to.
Oh, you could
but
walk
it
the
is,
whole
But it
thing.
is a
Okay.
timed thing. So if you are competitive, there's a timing component to it, and it's a very kind of smooth. Not a whole bunch of rises or falls or anything like that. So it's a pretty good metric on getting some good time. Some PRs might be made. And
Oh,
then
good.
we've
Nice.
got the quarterly membership luncheon. So it's in the name. It's quarterly. So these happen 4 times in a year. So that one's coming up on April 20th. It'll be at the Embassy Suites.
Oh, the new convention center.
Indeed. And this is also featuring the Leadership Denton class graduation.
Oh, Jake's over here like fist pumping and giving a shout out to his class.
And if you haven't heard already, Randy is also one of the chairs for Leadership Denton.
Yes.
So you'll be there, I'm sure.
I will definitely be there. Can I still get tickets to that? I don't think I've bought mine yet.
Yes, you can.
Okay, still open.
We're counting on you getting a ticket. And then we'll also have kind of a review of the Leadership Denton class project.
Yes,
so every
that'd be
year,
awesome.
if you're not familiar, every year Leadership Denton has a class project, something about the community to improve or to bring value, added value to. So this year there's a transportation component of the kind of cultural hotspots in Denton and connecting those to hospitality areas, and trying to think of methods of getting that stuff done. And then, we'll get back to that. And then, anyway, we'll have like a 10-minute video to kind of sum up that project presentation.
Oh, I didn't know there was going to be a video.
Well, we're going to try for a video.
Oh, I'm
That
excited.
way, it condenses everything down, makes it easy.
Keep me posted. That'll
Indeed.
be fun. Have you done Leadership Denton?
I have not.
Oh, you would probably really love it. You should look at it. I think actually the application, I know Aaron Newquist Fuzzy's going to be the chair over Leadership Denton this next year. So he's finishing the application and the dates. But I think all that's going to be live like the first part of April is the goal.
Yes, it'll be out soon.
Yeah, so if you're interested, the application will go live and the dates that you are committing to. And it's pretty competitive. Not everybody that applies gets accepted.
True.
So definitely, I know whenever I applied a couple years ago, the best tip I got was take the application seriously. Like they are,
Absolutely.
they are reviewing that, and they don't know your name, so they're looking at your application to decide if you make it through to the interview.
Right. Anything personally identifying is actually redacted,
Yeah.
so it keeps it as sterile as possible.
Yep. So you want to really put all your civic and your leadership and your thoughts. I'm
Yes.
excited about
Put
this
your best
next
foot
class.
forward.
Like every year, it's such a cool class because you can really see people grow, and then like the class starts out and nobody knows each other, or like a few people do, and then by the end they're like all best friends, and
Yeah. It's
you know,
like
all
an
the social
intense little
media
gauntlet.
feeds going back and forth. Leadership Denton love. It's good.
And what have you got?
All right, I got
community-wise?
community events. So, RetCon, it's almost here. March 24th, they're doing the hackathon, where they're doing a prize for the winner, and you can actually win $500, and it's only $10 to enter. So, if you are wanting to practice your coding skills, go participate in the hackathon.
Where's that going to be?
It is going to be at Stoke Denton. So I think even if you don't want to participate, you could still go and check out Stoke and learn more about RetCon.
Be a spectator.
You could be a spectator of the hackathon,
Like of
and
esports.
pass out the winning flags. I'm just kidding. There's no flags. So then we have the caregiver support group. They meet on a monthly basis. Their next meeting is April 13th. And they are working to help families whose family members are experiencing dementia. So you can learn more about all of these events at the denton-chamber.org website under events, community events.
Yes.
You'll find it. Then, last but certainly not least, Serve Denton has their celebration gala where Jason Witten is the keynote speaker, and that will take place on April 14th at 5:30, and it's also going to be at the convention center. So you definitely don't want to miss that one. Looks like tickets they're on sale now, and they are still available. And I think they're also still accepting sponsorships. So go to Serve Denton's website or denton-chamber.org to learn more about the celebration gala on April 14th.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And then, that's all the events that we've got announcements for.
Is it the prepared fun
It's
question?
time for the prepared fun question.
All right. Did you hear I kind of used my voice question?
You get a little vibrato in there.
I'm working on it.
You practicing?
I'm practicing. We have a comment.
Oh, yes.
So we have two comments.
So Jason said it's under general and then storage. That shows you last used and how much data on an app has.
Okay. So general storage to check your apps that you're using the most so you can figure out what to get rid of. Okay.
And then Jason says, thank you, Blissfully Organized LLC, for the help. That's great tips, by the way.
My
Thank you.
pleasure.
So good.
And then Elzabelle's.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
I think
Thank you.
she's talking about all of us.
Yes.
Okay, so prepare
All
fun
right.
question.
Tell us something about you that most people don't know.
Yeah. Good question.
I have just joking.
Ooh.
7 tattoos.
Wow.
Do you really?
Yes, I really
I
do.
genuinely am surprised by
I am
that.
too. Okay, so what's your favorite, like, kind of the one that's most meaningful to you?
I would have to say the first one that I got back when I was 20, so 20 years ago, and it's my daughter's name.
Oh,
That's sweet.
That's really
Yes.
sweet. 7 tattoos. All right, they're all hidden. All right,
Mhm.
I have a few.
Well, not all of them are hidden, but they're hidden now.
They're hidden, yeah, in the
That's so
jacket.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
gosh.
Pull it off and personality comes streaming out.
Yes.
Love it. I love it.
Very nice.
Do you have any tattoos?
No.
I have 3.
They're addictive.
Yeah. I'm not, like, I don't really like pain, and so I got all mine, like, when I was a little bit younger, and where
Yeah.
I didn't care as much about pain, and now, like, the thought of it, the addiction part didn't stick
Nope,
with me.
I'm out.
Like, I'm done. I'm out. Like, I thought about getting one a few different times. Like, I've thought about different things, and I can't do it. I'm too chicken. Like, I need a Valium before I go in there or something. Like,
You know, to be honest, I've thought about getting a tattoo. And speaking of apps, there's actually one that you can use that will it uses augmented reality.
Oh,
It's called
wow.
Ink Hunter.
Okay.
So you draw like a little design it's supposed to recognize from this app. And with augmented reality, you have these tattoo designs that you can
Okay.
sort of like hold on
well,
wherever
it's like
you're going to put it.
the
Well, that's
design app.
cool.
You can, like, hold up a mirror and, like, it'll show you what it looks like in that room.
Yes.
But
Uh-huh.
it's your body with
Yeah,
art.
if you
Yes.
want to purchase a couch or a love
Yeah.
seat, you can take a picture of your living room. That is
Yes.
great.
And you can fit it in there. So just like that, it works
Okay.
on this little thing.
So
and
did
so you
you
can
try
test it.
this?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, just to
What was
see what it would look
tell
like.
us about the artwork that you chose. Like,
Oh, no, it's just
was
like
it like
there's stuff
heart,
in the app that you
Travis
can use.
or Travis and
Was it
Jason in a
mom?
heart with
Or
mom with an
Mom.
arrow going through it, mom.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Or was it goat?
No, it's not a goat. Gosh, you tell one personal story. It comes back to
Oh, I
haunt you.
love it. Travis used to show goats. He was a
Goats
future
are
farmer.
sweet.
Yes,
I
4-H,
used to have a
4-H.
goat.
FFA, that kind of
FFA.
stuff. You know, I lived an entirely other kind of life before I showed up in Denton.
A little farmer life.
Yep.
Little country boy action.
Indeed.
Yes. What else do
Well-
you got? Is that all?
That's all I got.
Okay, we're done. Bye.
All right.
No, just kidding.
Well, all right. So thank you for watching. This is the Denton Chamber Coffee Grind. And thank you to DentonRadio.com
Yes,
for their
thank
help
you.
in the production of this episode. For more information about the Denton Chamber of Commerce, you can reach us online at denton-chamber.org. You can follow and friend us on social media. And remember to tune in next Wednesday at 10 a.m.
We're still here every week.
Yes.
All right.
We'll see how
you
it goes.
next week.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at classicofdenton.com.